What's up, Ask.Audio? My name is Eyal. I work for Waves. And we made a few cool instruments that I'd like to show. This one is called Bass Slapper. This is basically emulates a bass player who would do slap bass. So he's a sampler, but it's not just your regular sampler. It's also got some smarts to it. So if I'm playing something, there's all kinds of articulations that are happening. Let me play something. So you can do quite a lot of cool stuff with it. The idea is, instead of just giving you a sample per note, when you're playing something, you're kind of telling the plugin where you want the bass player's hand to be, not just where the note would be. So if I'm playing this note, you can see that on the screen, it kind of assigns it to a string. So if I keep going up, so it immediately knows that I'm on the same string, it would give me a legato. If I keep going up above that, it's going to say, oh, you know, a bass player's hand can't stretch that far, so maybe I want to play another string. So what it means is that basically I'm getting polyphonic legato, so I can hold the notes and have separate polyphony on each string, which is kind of cool, and more like a bass player's way of thinking about things, like a kind of a per string division. And also, you can move the hand. So let's say I got this line here, and maybe I'd like to play it in a bit higher on the guitar. So you can just move the hand here and get the same notes in a different place, which would give you a completely different tone. So you can really mess with how and where you want your tone to be, which is better than almost any tone control. It's more of a natural way to change samples. And also you got a bunch of, processing here, you got a bunch of effects. You can have, I like the sub-octave. So you can really kind of get it to come alive within a production or film music or something that requires for it to be this way. You can really twist it and add distortion. It's really good for for metal. I like to add a lot of overdrive and kind of stuff the gain. Maybe do something like so it's quite an expressive instrument if you're playing it this way.
Take a look at that other one.
All right. So and there's a new plugin that we just put out. It's called Flow Motion. We just load it up here into Ableton. So this is a new synthesizer called Flow Motion. Let me just hit a note, see what happens. Oh, let me bring it up. So a lot going on, basically. So what this is quite an advanced FM synthesizer, but also it's got a few unique features to it that makes it different than your regular FM synthesizer. So let's start. So I'm just going to pick the full reset, just a pure sine wave. So I got the one oscillator here on the screen, and I can have any oscillator just modulate that oscillator. Or so I can just bring up here, bring up the level here, and just bring up the level of phase modulation between this one to this one. But also, I have a few different LFOs on the side, so I could just drag a modulator into this path, and immediately so you can immediately get really quirky sounds, which is a very different way to look at it than the standard FM way. But the really cool thing about this plugin is something on the bottom here called the Snapshot Sequencer. So basically every step here is kind of like a preset. It's a state of the entire synth. So for example, I can have 3 steps and copy this one, paste to all, and maybe have a different waveform in each step. And what that means is that if I play it and just hit a note, so it's a sequencer of sound. And this is not your regular step sequencer in arpeggiator. We also have those. But it really allows for like quirky presets. So let's open like one of the presets here. I can have a preset that would be more something like this. Or even something that sounds like a drum beat. So it's really about getting a sound to move and modulate and change and not be static. So that's it. Thank you very much.